Hi guys, my name's Sarah. I work with the mammals here at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our bats today. So we all know that bats are really important parts of our environment. They are amazing and so vital to the pollination of our plant species. And without them around, we wouldn't have some of the most amazing animals that we have in our environments. Without bats, we wouldn't have gum trees and we wouldn't have koalas. So let's talk about some of the issues that the Australian communities have with some of our bat species.
Hi, my name's Daniel and I specialise in the mammal department here at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. I personally love bats, and I hope by sharing some information about these very misunderstood and harshly judged animals that you too will be able to get that love for this wildlife.
Hi, my name's Beck and I'm one of the mammal keepers here at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. So we have 8 female flying foxes here at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. They all have different personalities that range from shy to very outgoing. Flying foxes can travel really long distances and sometimes show up in areas they previously haven't been seen for in years. This is due to the flowering patterns of some of our key eucalypt species, which do change not only seasonally but annually depending on things like rainfall. Some species of eucalypt only produce nectar at night. This means that the genetic diversity and long-term survival of some of these eucalypts depends solely on bats. So they really do function as nocturnal bees. Many species of animals, including our iconic koalas, rely on the flying foxes for their food trees.
We all know how important the bees are in pollination. Everybody's made friends with them. Bats are playing just as much of an important role as our little friends, the bees. So just as important as it is for the bees out there pollinating our fruit and veggies to get them on the table, it's just as crucial for our forests to have our bats around to create a food source for our koalas. Everybody loves koalas. Without the bats, we won't have koalas. The forests that the koalas call home are only there because of these amazing flying mammals pollinating these beautiful forests to create a food source and a home tree for our mates, the koalas.
One of the common catchphrases often used for koalas is no tree, no me. But for bats, it's the opposite. No me, no tree.
Bats really can be noisy, we all know that, but most of the time they're actually quite quiet. During the day they're sleeping and resting. During the evening they're out flying around feeding. The only time they make a lot of noise is just as they're emerging or if they're getting disturbed. Otherwise they're quiet.
Flying foxes are social animals that live in large colonies. These colonies are made up of individuals and family groups. They communicate using vocalization and scent. These odours are used to identify camp trees, individuals and attract potential mates.
Bats may be inconvenient at times, but they certainly aren't pests. They're a native animal that plays a vital role in the Australian bushland.
We really need bats in our environment. They're super important and play a massive role in making sure that our forests are still around to regenerate. There's actually more than 30% of our bats that have disappeared. We need to do everything we can to help protect these colonies and keep them around so that we have forests in the future.
Bats have a special locking system in their leg, which enables them to hang upside down without expending any energy.
Did you know that without grey-headed flying foxes, you wouldn't have animals such as the koalas and other amazing Australian native wildlife?
Greyheaded flying foxes are found mostly along the east coast of Australia. This is also where most of the human population lives. This means that flying foxes are sometimes coming into conflict with local communities. Over the years, grey-headed flying fox numbers have drastically declined. This is due to habitat destruction and habitat fragmentation. The grey-headed flying fox is now listed nationally as vulnerable. A vulnerable listing means that a species is likely to become endangered if current processes that are threatening their survival or reproduction out in the wild don't drastically change.
Our bats need somewhere to live too. Support our local councils so they're not spending the big bucks trying to disperse these amazing animals.